was if you work really hard, you're going to succeed. And if you have your open mind, you're learning from mistakes, you're going to succeed. And even though it wasn't a teacher book, it can be applied to teaching. You're also learning how your students learn. So just the talented one is not going to fly through your class. They actually have to do the work. Fixed mindset, you think mistakes are final. Talent's more important than effort. They mask their faults. They blame others. It's not it wasn't me. I wanted to do it this way. They told me no, and it's their fault. And so guess what? Those people are having a really, really hard time this year. And they just turn out to be not as successful. The next one is about personality changes. Is personality fixed? What do you think? Is it?
Sort of.
Yeah.
Can be. Sort of. Sort of.
I think of how I was when I was younger, and I would say definitely not. 100% different than I was before. Still sarcastic, but...
I mean, for I do a longitudinal study, they done a longitudinal, so when the people, when they're 19, they do a personality. I cannot, after 10 years, they do the same thing. The personality won't change, unless some people have the brain damage, like, or they got some
Big
Alzheimer,
crisis. Big
Alzheimer
crisis.
or Parkinson's. Otherwise, the people personality kind of stable. They won't change a lot.
That's what you believe?
Well, I just think, because I used to be very quiet, can you imagine that? Introverted and not confident, and I wouldn't talk in class, and now I can't stop talking, and so I want to take on challenges and just go.
I think you can change your behavior by your personality. It will be still the same.
Boyce, Wood, and how to be, something like that, did a longitudinal study. They had 8,625 people. They looked at 2 points in their lives using the big 5 personality traits, and they wanted to see if change was possible. And their findings said that yes, change is possible, but not only is it possible, but it should happen. That over the years, as you mature, that you're going to be more compassionate and secure and things like that. So they're saying that yes, and that it does affect your well-being.
That's different than the study you've read, Mungtha?
Yeah.
That's why I put this one in here, because this one says what I want it to say. So for teachers who may not think that they have it, that they can adjust their personalities, at least in the classroom. Because I'm quiet, but you know, when I go in that classroom, I better have that down and out, the teacher voice, and just to be different than you may be in real life. So from the student's view, I love this study because it's from the student's perspective, which, to say if a teacher is effective or not, what are you really looking at? Test scores? How reliable is that? Why don't you talk to the students and see what the students are saying? So here we had 187 Turkish students, which I found interesting. It was in Turkey, but it could be applied here. It sounds like what American students would say. So they're 14 to 16 years of age. There's 60 students participated in a qualitative study. So they just looked at liked and disliked teachers. If you don't like a teacher, what does that teacher do to make you not like? What kind of personality traits does that teacher that you like have? So, and it found that liked teachers have extroversion, conscientiousness, agreeableness, emotional stability, I thought that was funny, and openness. Dislike, introversion, suspiciousness, and antagonism toward others, and emotional instability. That makes so much sense, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. And so whether it's in Turkey, America, Australia, I think it fits. So one limitation was that the survey noted was that this was based on student perceptions, and that their future research may focus on the teachers and students as well. Teacher's view. Here we have association of pre-service teachers' performance, personality, beliefs with teacher self-efficacy. that program completion. And this article focuses on self-efficacy and its influence on retention. As we know, there's teacher shortages in everywhere, America, but especially Mississippi. And so how do we help pre-service, in-service teachers to stay? And so there were 599 pre-service teachers in their final year at the university level. They took entry surveys, exit surveys, and their beliefs were measured. And interestingly, the last one, extroversion and neuroticism both showed to have significant effects. So these were the two main factors. Extroversion had a positive effect, neuroticism a negative effect, because neuroticism is negativity. So, you know, of course, that just makes sense. The principal's view, so I was trying to get in everybody here. So this was using the 16 personality factors to predict teacher success, but this actually goes, looks at it from the principal's point of view. And they had 300 student teachers in 6 universities who completed a personality test. And they followed those teachers to their schools and used their principals' feedback in order to complete this these surveys. And so that was done for 3 years. So this seems like a great study. So I thought it was interesting that principals, this one here, personality traits on this 16PF, that principals indicated would influence effectiveness would be rule consciousness.
Wow.
Consciousness.
What?
Isn't that normal?
Consciousness.
Of course, if you follow the rules, the principal's going to like you, right? So, of course, privateness, you're not loudmouth gossip.
Oh, how funny.
Perfectionism, of course, what a perfect teacher, and tension. So it's
What was that last one?
tension.
What do you mean by tension? Like, what
I
do
don't know.
Okay.
That's a great question.
Okay. I was like, that seems like.
It's probably defined in there.
Mhm.
So we'd have to look back at the study to see what that means. But that I was thinking this, I wonder what that means.
I might have it upstairs.
We'll find out.
So the professional development viewpoint, highly engaged schools, a successful model for professional development. This article is shifting from professional development as fixing problem as to developing teachers. And what a great open idea that is. So the driving question would be, how do we create a professional development platform that fosters an engaged and inspired faculty? Wouldn't that be great to know? You could keep all your teachers and inspire them. And so to answer this, they had 3 points. Develop the faculty as people. And here they're also looking at personality types, strengths, and they use the Myers-Briggs and strengths finders to grow teacher as people through self-awareness. So that, again, they're looking at talents, strengths, weaknesses, and their own personality. Number 2, develop faculty as great teammates. I see this word collaboration, and I've seen it around schools, but what it usually comes out to mean is delegation. If we're all working together, all right, you plan math, you plan English, I'll plan science. Done. That's what collaborations come down to. But that's not it. So strong collaboration, really working together for the best of the students. And number 3, develop faculty as content area experts. That makes me happy to think that. So you're teaching something that you know very well and that the students can learn the best from you. So some research questions that I had. If teachers do not think they have these traits, can they change enough to have some? Does or how does teacher personality affect student engagement, success, learning? Did learning about personality traits of effective teachers influence teacher self-efficacy? Should teachers change their personalities to teach? Interesting. What personalities are more effective in math, ELA, science, social studies, PE, music, art? Oh my gosh, what is that?
Hard to know.
I can't
That's
see.
terrible.
What word is that?
Day maybe?
What
Yeah.
perceived
What
teacher
perceived?
personality?
What?
Which?
Which? What or which? What or which? Perceived personality traits affect self self-efficacy, and what personality adjustments are needed for specific grades. So to go in as kind of a lecture type to first grade, oh no, that's just terror for the rest of the year. So. Further research, I did see some limitations here. A middle school mind, I'm an alternative route mind, so I did want to put these in here. So some limitations would be how to measure teacher effectiveness. So how are you measuring it? From the students, from scores, from themselves? And how do you measure student learning, engagement, and things like that? Furthermore, if teachers seem to have it, or the right personality, you think you've got it, and then you go into the classroom and you don't have it, how do you fix it? What can be done for that? And that's why I wanted 2 more sessions after the first one, so that teachers can come back and reflect, how can I adjust? Further research can focus on middle school teachers and traits that they need for efficacy. Other factors, of course, including would be socioeconomic levels of the students in the schools. And even more specifically, middle school alternative route teachers, because a lot of these teachers know the content area very well, but they don't know the pedagogy, they don't know classroom management, and they have to have literally on-the-job training. Okay, so what would that look like? Conduct pre-service, in-service surveys of self-efficacy, student engagement, personality traits. Conduct a survey with students, because I want to know what they think and what they say. I think it's just so important. And to examine what traits that they find would be effective. And it would be more than, oh, I like this teacher, I don't like, so it's more than like or don't like. Survey principals, of course, to find out what they look for. We know they like rule followers and all, but what do they really look like? For a teacher that engages students, what does that look like to them? Compare the survey results from everyone. It'd be great if the data could come from one school district or one area. So in conclusion, the research shows that personality can affect the classroom environment, that students need teachers who consistently listen to them and who really care about them. And that's going to be the number 1 factor is, does my teacher care? Okay, I'll start learning. And is there one personality type that should or should not teach? And this was the debate in my head of if I'm talking to teachers and then they think, oh, I don't have that kind of personality, so I should not be a teacher. That's not the purpose. I want to go in and say that, well, you know, for the class, you can try these methods, you can try these strategies, you can talk this way or that. But I actually was trying to tell the teacher to be funny. She just wasn't funny.
She can't be funny.
She can't do it. And I said, well, you know, I would say this because I'm hilarious. But her, she just, oh, yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that. Let's try something else. And so some personalities lend themselves more naturally to teaching, of course, than others. And that's there. There is hope for everyone to be a teacher. Should everyone be a teacher? No. But if you thought about it, you would like to do it, that's what alternative route programs are for. I will plug that. So thank you. Are there any questions?
Very good. Round of
Besides what
applause.
tension is?
That's a good question. That's a good.
I should have just taken that.
You mentioned the Myers-Briggs personality, and then you mentioned the Big Five. Is that the same thing, or am I just confused?
The Myers-Briggs has the 16 personality types. They're introversion, extroversion, and then they have different
Yeah,
little
but
subparticles of that.
in one of the slides you mentioned the Big Five.
Yes.
So I was kind of confused as to what that was referring to.
It was further back. There was forward.
There it is.
Right there.
I don't think it's the same as the Myers-Briggs. They're usually
Well,
Big
she's
Five
in
is
introversion, extroversion is one. Then that's the rest of them are different, it seems, than the Myers-Briggs. You got agreeableness and antagonism, openness, closeness to experience, consciousness, lack of direction, slash lack of direction, and then neuroticism slash